Hey guys, so I've literally just filmed the worst books I've ever read. I thought I'd film the best books I've ever read. So these are the books that are 5 stars. So the first one I want to talk about is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Now, I've seen the film before, and that made me cry, and I didn't realize I had a book. So I got the book. Holy Mother of God. The book is in so much detail. Like, if you compare the both, the film, they've watered it down so much, and I think they watered it down just to get that certificate. I can't remember what certificate the film is. I think it might be like it could be a 12 or a PG. I know it's not 15, I think it's like a 12 PG, something like that. You can tell they watered that down because that book is brutal. If you thought the film made you cry, read the goddamn book. I was shook. I was like, wow, this book is amazing. Like, I definitely preferred the book to the film now. But yeah, like, wow, like, mind blown. Like, I know, like, some books are different to the films, but literally completely different. There's so much detail that they missed in the film, and as I said, I think they did that just to make the film a little bit more mainstream, because mate, that book is brutal. The next one is Deception Point by Dan Brown. OMG, this book. Like, everyone talks about the Da Vinci Code and, Angels and Demons, that whole series. Deception Point. Honest to God, if you've not read it, read it. It is amazing. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoy pretty much every book by Dan Brown. Like, he's one of those authors where you're reading it and you're at edge and you don't want to put the book down, but you have to put the book down because you got like stuff to do, like work, or you need to sleep. But yeah, definitely recommend Deception Point. Next one is Star Seeker by Tim Bowler. So I remember reading this, I believe, again in my secondary years. This was like a really, like, when I read this, I was like, wow, this is my favorite. And for a while, was like my top favorite book. It is so good. Even though it is kind of like a teen book, it still does cover like, I wouldn't say like adult, not adult material, but sort of like, sort of like grown up situations, if that makes any sense. But I really, really enjoyed this story. Next one is Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. You would have heard me mention a little bit of Inkheart in the worst books I've ever read. I love this book, as I mentioned in that video. This was the book where my imagination, it was the first time I read a book where my imagination just exploded. Like, I matched like characters with people I know in real life, people in my class and stuff like that. I just loved this book so much, and as I said, it was the first book where my imagination just went completely wild with it. Next one is The Uninvited, an exposure of the alien abduction phenomena by Nick Pope. This is like one of those sort of like documentary sort of books, if that makes any sense. It talks about like alien abduction and stuff like that. Obviously, book isn't for everyone. It's only if you're interested in that sort of stuff and like the paranormal, and stuff like that. So it's not a book necessarily for everyone, but if you are interested in like alien abductions and stuff like that, then I do recommend that you give this a read. The next one is Face Paint, the Story of Makeup. This is by Lisa Aldridge. She is a makeup artist, but basically it says what it is on the title. Basically it goes in the history of like makeup and stuff like that, like the first, lip products and stuff like that. And yeah, it got some really good like makeup looks and stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in makeup, then to be fair, if you're interested in makeup, you've probably heard of her anyway. But yeah. The next one is Seven Deadly Sins, Settling the Argument Between Born Bad and Damaged Good by Corey Taylor. If you've not heard of Corey Taylor, he's the lead singer of Slipknot and Stone Sour. Basically, he kind of challenges the Seven Deadly Sins. If you have no idea what the Seven Deadly Sins, they're basically like the Ten Commandments, but these are like the Seven Deadly Sins. It's like a Catholic thing, so it's like gluttony. There's other stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, I'm a Catholic, but basically sort of justifies sort of dabbling in it, dabbling in them to make yourself like successful and stuff like that. It's not for everyone. If you get offended easily, then obviously you're not going to really like it. But if you're like an open-minded person like me, then it is a good read. The next book is Arrival by Ted Chiang. Now, the only issue I had about this book, which I put aside anyway, was I've never seen the film Arrival, so I had no history on it. But it's actually based on a short story from this book. So it's like mini stories. That's the only thing I found a little bit misleading, but because the stories were so good, I still gave it, still gave it a 5 star. Um, but yeah, I won't give any spoilers or anything like that. But apparently, the short story I really enjoyed was the Tower of Babylon. But yeah, it's a different sort. It's a book with different short stories, but they're like really good short stories. But I just thought it was the cover and everything was a little bit misleading. But to be fair, I'd not seen the original cover because the cover they have on the book is the one from the film Arrival. So I don't know what the original cover looks like or whatever. But yeah, really good short stories. Next one is Spiritual Tattoos by Russ Thorne. Basically, it goes through like meanings of different tattoos and stuff, and different tribes and where they originate and stuff like that. It's interesting if you want sort of like tattoo ideas, or it's even good just to read, just to like look at history and meanings of tattoos and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're interested in tattoos, then you might be interested in this. And then the last one, which I recently did a review on, is Talking with Psychopaths and Savages, A Journey into the Evil Mind by Christopher Berry D. If you don't know who he is, he basically is like, he interviews like, sort of like a psychologist, basically, like interviews like serial killers and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a good one. A lot of people didn't like this book because I don't know, people don't know what a biography is. But because it came across as arrogant, but he was, he was it was an interesting book because it's telling him how he like made the first steps into talking to him and stuff like that. Because I mean, it was a sort of like slash biography sort of thing. I think what people expected from this book was literally full stories and backstories of every person he was talking to, but that's not what this book was about. It was about talking with psychopaths and savages, which I made clear. That's what it said in the title, not biographies of psychopaths and savages. That made any sense. So yeah, I kind of got triggered. I'm not gonna lie, but people on Goodreads, I swear, they don't know what biography is. Um, but yeah, that's it for my top rated books that I have read. Um, I have still all got these, but it's just easy just to voice record than to just show you each one. It's just effort. But yeah, bye guys.